Space Monkeys blasting off with Young Beef 4.2, occasionally known as Zachary Edwards. He's with Subsocial. Young Beef, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Great studio.
In our studio.
Nicest one I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to know, tell me, where's Young Beef come from?
So late 2018, I made a freestyle rap on some beats that my brother Jake made. Of course, needed a rapper name. And at the time, I was drinking a gallon of milk a day. So I was Young Dairy. I just got the young, like making fun of rappers with young name, whatever. And then fast forward, I went on the carnivore diet, so I was eating like 4 pounds of beef a day. So it just became Young Beef. I think originally I was just Young Beef, but then I went to Beef 2.0. Every time I changed the profile picture. The ChaosDAO ape number 3 that I have right now, that's 4.0. And then we added the ChaosDAO ring around the side, and then McBeaster photoshopped the Santa hat on, so that's 4.2. It's always Christmas somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Might be like hundreds of thousands of kilometers off in space, but it's Christmas somewhere.
What's your favorite part of the bovine creature?
The meat. Actually, I might say the milk. I don't know.
Have you ever tried Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yeah, they're great.
I love them. I have a whole video of delivering Rocky Mountain oysters to influencers in LA.
Did you tell them what they actually are before?
No, I created a whole fake restaurant called Tana's Sack Lunch, and and then showed up as a fake DoorDash like, hey, you ordered this from Tana's Sack Lunch, and they're like, huh?
What's the way to eat them? Like battered and fried?
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Slice them up like sweet and sour sauce.
I love the start of this podcast.
So everybody Google that? Let's keep going.
No, don't Google it. Just go eat them.
So Subsocial, right? That's what it's called?
Yes.
Can you tell me, I don't know a whole lot about it, so can you tell me a little bit about it?
These current social networks like Facebook and Instagram, we have all these problems, censorship. They're showing us stuff that's not healthy for us so they can get more engagement, high monetization fees for creators, that sort of thing. And basically all of the problems stem from the fact that the social graphs are closed. So on Facebook, for example, you don't really own your connections and you don't own your content. Facebook can take it away from you at any time, right? So they own it. And so, you can leave these networks at any time, but you can't take your stuff with you. So the exit fee is super high, so people generally don't leave. And that is basically the root of all these problems, because these companies can basically do whatever they want and people aren't going to leave anyways because the exit fee is so high. With Subsocial, we're basically doing open social graphs. So users actually own their digital connections, they own their content. If you post something on Subsocial, there's no way anyone can take it away from you. So because of that, it basically solves all these other problems, and we have some solutions on that, like algorithm marketplace and cool stuff like that. But it's basically much better, healthier for society and individuals, and gives people more freedom and control.
So it's going to be a social platform?
Yeah, it's been live for almost 2 years. So yeah, we call it a social networking platform, not a social network, and you build social networks on top of the platform.
And how does the blockchain piece of it integrate into it?
So that's basically where all the content is stored, so that's how you can actually own your content. You have your private key, and then you post something with that, so it's verifiably that you own it and no one else can take it away from you. I mean, I guess you could do an on-chain governance vote or something, but that's probably not going to happen, and if you tried to censor someone or like ban them, they're just gonna make another account immediately.
Cool thing about Young Beef is that we actually met up like a year ago in like a Discord that our buddy created, and at that time none of us were doing anything to contribute to the ecosystem.
Just being bums.
And we kind of built out this big group of guys around shitposting, and this group became ChaosDAO. And from that group, a lot of projects farmed talent, and Young Beef was one of those talents that Subsocial just picked up. And I'm kind of curious, back then at that time, what was it that excited you most about the possibilities of Subsocial?
I mean, I'm on social media a lot. Like I said in my presentation yesterday, that we live in an increasingly digital time, and in person I only talk to like 3 or 4 people on a regular basis, but I'm in like a couple hundred or 1,000 different text chat groups depending on how you qualify it. And so these problems are a very real deal, and I think, like I mentioned with the algorithms and showing you upsetting content, I feel like the US in the last 10 years, social media has played a very big part in the increasingly divisive nature of the culture there, where people, it's like always us versus them. It affects everyone's quality of life in a big way, and if we can fix that, I think that's a really big deal.
The content that people put on your platform, how is it tokenized, or is it are they NFTs?
Yeah, so technically all the posts and everything are NFTs. We have ideas for being able to rent a post to someone else or sell a post. It's like licensing a book or something.
Do you guys have incentive programs to bring people onto your platform?
Right now, we have talked about the idea for a star has DApp staking to incentivize developers. And I was like, hey, we should bring that over because it'd be a good idea. And then, so I mentioned that to our founder, Alex, and he's always coming up with a million ideas somehow. And then he had the idea to do creator staking. So content creators, basically, you could stake your tokens to your favorite content creator, and then they'll get a percentage of the inflation rewards. So you can basically vote for who you like the most, and they'll get paid. And it's not like you have to pay them, but the network pays them basically because you have to have content or no one's going to use anything, right?
You guys have just introduced a new concept, NRG. What can you tell us about that?
Basically, the goal is to be able to get where my grandma can get on Subsocial and use it, and my grandma's not doing crypto at all. So with the NRG, for example, and these numbers aren't final, but so you would burn like 10 sub tokens and then you would get 11 energy. So it's better to burn to get the energy to do transactions instead of just using the tokens. But when you burn the tokens, you can give the energy to someone else. So the idea is that the developers of dApps will basically pay for the transaction fees for the users, and then they can monetize their dApp, ads or subscription, like $1 a month or whatever, like pretty small, because the transaction fees aren't that high.
An application would buy sub off the market and then burn it. And so this is like a deflationary pressure on sub.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's good for tokenomics. I hinted that in a
cool.
tweet the other day, but it could also be, through the dApp staking, so they just get sub that way and then they can burn it to let people use their platform. And other ideas is sort of like a Web 2.5 login. So like email and password thing. And worst case, we can just have Web 3 and Web 2. So if you want to be totally censorship resistant, own everything, you can set up a wallet and whatever, but otherwise you can just log in with the email password.
How did you get into the Web3 space?
Well, I was in early 2018. I first got in, back, I was before DeFi. I was kind of involved, not like on the team, but really in the community of this project. It was like a casino built on top of a pyramid scheme, which, it sounds hilarious, but the white paper, it was a really smart idea how it worked. But they shut that down because they didn't know if they'd end up in prison or whatever.
A casino built on a pyramid scheme. Several red flags.
But then the bear market came, and I was still in school, so I kind of forgot about it. And then beginning of 2021, my brother started getting into crypto a lot again. He found Polkadot.
Do you collect NFTs at all?
Some. I'm actually a bit of an NFT artist myself.
Are you?
I can show you. It's pretty
Let's go.
sensational.
Have you ever heard of the game Fuck, Marry, Kill, right?
For NFTs.
Yeah, yes. But instead, we're going to do HODL, flip, burn.
I don't know. Burn would probably be something like those crypto dicks or whatever.
What would you burn?
Crypto dicks or whatever. There's a couple of those on Singular. It's like pixel art, like Darth Vader dick shape or something, And the HODL and flip, I don't know.
I guess I envision with HODL, it's like something that you don't even care if it goes to zero.
I would say that for my current avatar right now, the ChaosDAO ape. I had 2 of them, and then I sold one. Yeah, so both for the same collection, I guess. That's the saying, one to rock and one to stock, right?
Yeah.
Get 2 of them.
What are you looking forward to most in the space in general?
The thing I'm most excited about is when XCMP really gets going, because that's really like the whole dream for the Polkadot ecosystem. You could go on Subsocial and go to someone's page and buy their creator token with 1 click, and then go use that in a prediction market that's on Zeitgeist to bet about how many views their next video will get.
I love it.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Always great talking to you, Beef, and it's really nice to see you in person finally because your shit posting online, it really inspired me in the beginning, man. It really set the temperature of like what Kusama was all about. I'm just honored to know you.
I have a question for you, and maybe you too. Do you feel like you guys know like a ton about the ecosystem? Because I feel like you would, especially with WAG Media, like you have all these people bringing all this information to you. You feel like you're total gigabrain about everything that's going on?
So my answer is no. I think the more information I get, the less I realize I know.
Right, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
So
sharing content and information is a good business to get into because there's really no lack of material, right? Like you could just be shoveling all day from morning to night and you still haven't covered everything.
You got your work cut out for you.
That's the beauty of having these moments to sit down. So
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me on.